Alright guys, welcome to another video. You join me from the Volvo. And those of you who watched my last video last week will know that the Volvo is fixed-ish now. We fixed the issue with the radiator's all good. I've been driving the car all week. Zero issues, so happy with that. Job ticked off the list. Suspension creak also is sorted, is all fixed and good. So yeah, the Volvo's actually in pretty good health now. There is one rattle from the boot area which I still need to sort out, and there's one issue with the ABS that is on the list, but for now the Volvo's at a stage where I'm happy to drive it around. With the leaking radiator, I wanted to get that fixed because, you know, that could have let go at any time was my thoughts, and I just wanted to get that sorted. I didn't want to drive around a car with a leaky radiator and having to top up the coolant all the time. So at the minute I can just drive the car about, and that's what we're doing today. Because going back to that video last week, I put a little message at the end saying there's going to be a bit of channel news. And if any of you read the description, you'll know that I'm thinking about doing a few kind of different road test videos. Now the more I thought about the idea, you know, I was thinking maybe one takes is going to be a bit tough, because although I've got pretty decent verbal diarrhea when it comes to speaking on camera, I do talk a lot of shite, and for that reason I don't think I'm going to be doing just solid one takes. I've already cut this clip up now that you're watching because I don't know, I can't really just carry on talking and wobbling shite. Maybe that'll come with experience, but certainly for the start we're not going to be doing that. Right, so today is going to be like a little test. We're going to do kind of like a review on the Volvo, I guess. We'll talk about it, why I bought it, what it's been like to live with. We'll go for a drive. I actually need to go to IKEA today, so, you know, perfect car to go to IKEA in a Volvo. I need to go and buy some drawers, just normal person stuff. I don't really like doing stuff like this, but I thought perfect opportunity to test out the new camera setup as well, because I don't know if you can tell, but you're actually on the big camera. Let me show you. I'll do a quick video on my phone and show you what the setup's going to be. So I'm going to appreciate anyone's feedback on these videos, because I'm going to be doing a few different camera angles as well. And you know, if you could feed back to me and let me know what you thought, and you know, maybe ways to improve and stuff. One thing that I would really like to improve is audio. I know the audio is not going to be great because I've got an external mic for both of these, but what I could really do with like a wireless lavalier mic, which I know a lot of channels have these days and I still don't have, which I looked at doing, but it's a few £100s to get that set up properly. And you know, I think I'll have a run at these first, have a go at them, and then we'll see in the future if I want to start spending money on better gear. But you'll probably hear a lot of creaks and groans in the Volvo as we go along, because there's a lot of creaks and groans from the Volvo. The boot rattles like mad as well. I really need to fix that. How do I get on video? There we go. So there you are. So I've got this new mount. It's a bit of a beast. It's from a company called Hague. It's an SM1. It was about 80 quid, I think. And I don't know, I've wanted a big mount like this for a while so I can use the big camera in car. Because I think, although the GoPros are really good at doing in-car stuff, I just, you know, since switching to this camera for doing the vlogs, it made my videos so much better altogether, and I thought, you know, I'll try it in the car as well. So we're going to be using that camera there, and I'm going to move that across this side as well on this window at some point, so you can get this big camera for the front view. And at the minute we've just got this GoPro sat here, which will be doing kind of the front view. I know a lot of people put them in the middle, but I want to just put them at the side for now. Obviously it's a right-hand drive car, so you're seeing kind of what I'm seeing when I'm driving along, and then you've got my face over here. And I've got another GoPro as well, actually. I've managed to get three GoPros now, so you know, in the future there might even be more camera angles, but for now we've got these two. So first, as you can see over there, we've got some snow to tackle. The Volvo's not too bad at it, to be honest. It's got a winter mode for the automatic gearbox in it. It does alright. We'll put it in winter mode down there, and we'll try and crawl up this hill. I will test out this GoPro on the way up, why not? And yeah, so we're going to IKEA, but we're going to do like a one take, not quite a one take, but kind of like a test on this kind of format, and also the camera angle and stuff. And I want to try out that new mount as well, so I don't know if this video is going to be for everyone, but it's a video, and it's Saturday, so you know, it's what I normally do on Saturdays now. It's become a bit of a Saturday job. I'll turn that on, do a clap. I've read that if you clap it's good to get them in sync. Okay, so let's tackle this hill first, and then we'll get off to IKEA. We can talk some Volvo stuff. Everyone's going to be good. Now the car is warmed up because I've been sat here for ages pissing about this camera mount. Literally about 15 minutes. Right, come on. This winter mode's a bit strange, but it seems to do the job. Come on, baby. Oh no, we're going backwards now. Right, okay. That method's right, a bit more speed, I think. Right, I've got a new method. It's called reverse. Fucking first time every time. So at the minute we've got two cameras. We've got my Panasonic G7, which is attached to the windscreen using a Hague mount. All nice and secure, looking good. It doesn't seem to be moving around a lot at all, to be honest, which is nice, exactly what I wanted. And then we've got my GoPro 4, which is a black edition, I think. But that's just doing, so you can see where I'm going, just to give a view while I'm talking. You can have a look around. For those of you who aren't from England, it might be nice to see some cars that you don't normally see on this thing. Bit of a dash cam, I guess. Got a dirty old bus here on the right at the minute, who's hopefully not going to squash me. Stay away, you bastard. So where I'm going today, I'm going to IKEA and I'm going in my V70 because, you know, I like Scandinavian things now. So we're going to go across because I need to get some drawers for my bedroom. That's as interesting as my day is. I thought, why not test out the camera? We'll do a video test with the GoPros and stuff like that. So it's more for me as well as for you, because I've never really done anything like this before, and I want to see what it's going to look like when you do some practice. Because I've actually had a few entries already, believe it or not. Some people are actually daft enough to intend to throw me the keys already, and I've had some really, really good cars already. And yeah, it's shaping up to be something special. This, not too sure yet. If you didn't see the previous video, I put a little message at the end saying that I was looking for cars to do some videos on, and I want to do some kind of one-take-esque videos. And they're not going to be exactly carbon copies of Matt's videos, because obviously for a start, as we're in England, I'm not trying to sell you a watch right at the start. So that's, I mean, yeah, that could change if I get to Matt's level of subscribers, but I'm not going to try and sell you any Casios just yet. And yeah, it's just going to be, I don't know, my kind of video anyway. I just kind of do it a bit rough around the edges, and people seem to like it, so we'll have a crack at it. But I do like this mic. The quality looks fucking banging, man. Mic, sorry, I'm on about the mount. It seems to be holding the camera nice and still. You can see me all right. We're good in focus. I'm using a 12 to 60mm lens on there at the minute, so it's wound all the way back to 12. The focal length, that's on a G7 if anyone's interested. Seems to be all right. Right, so this is my 1998 Volvo V70 T5. It's a car that I bought quite recently, about a month ago now, and it was to replace my Audi A4, which obviously was a good car, and I do still miss my Audi a little bit, but you know what, this is a much better car in a lot of ways, apart from the sound system. The Volvo doesn't really compare to the Bose, unfortunately. It's not too bad in here, but that's one thing that I might look at improving. But at the end of the day, it's got speakers and it plays music, so that's enough for a daily, you know. I don't need to go all fancy. The fact that the Audi had a decent sound system was just a byproduct, really. I didn't know when I bought it. It just was a lucky coincidence. Maybe not a coincidence, but a lucky feature. This verbal diarrhea stuff's hard, man. I'm not going to be able to do one take at all because I just chat too much shite. Just warble on. So as you can see from this camera, which is obviously, hopefully turned on. I can't actually see if it's turned on. Are you turned on, mate? I think that's turned on. If it's not, I'm wasting a lot of time, you know. Right, so as you can see, the traffic around where I live is not great, and this is just everyday standard stuff. Which is why I wasn't that put off when I heard this car was an automatic, because at first I didn't know. I'll be honest, when I first got interested in this car, when I saw it, it wasn't advertised, it was actually one of my Twitter followers that offered me it. When I first saw it and I thought, oh god, V70 T5, nice. I never thought it would be an automatic. I just assumed that because this guy was an enthusiast that it'd be a manual, and when I found out it was an auto, I was kind of put off to start with. It kind of made me think, do I really want to buy this car? But I thought about it, and given the traffic and shite of these roads around here, you know, I do spend a lot of my life just sat around, just in traffic. Right, this traffic is murder. So allow me to get on some. Oh, it's opening up a little bit. I want to show you the T5 sound. That's what I want to show you. I want to let the T5 do the talking, because one of the best things about this car is the engine. Make no mistake, the engine sounds fucking naughty. I didn't even really realise how well they sounded until the day of picking the car up. We went on a test drive, and I first put my foot down, and I remember the moment passing an X5, I think it was, Anthony will confirm, overtook a car on a country road in sport mode, and the thing just erupted and just fucking shot off. And it is genuinely fast, this car. It's genuinely got some some power, 240 horse or thereabouts, 237 maybe. And it's got enough to put you back in your seat. 2.3 litre turbocharged 5-cylinder. It's alright, it's pretty good. Now I'm seeing the mic on the camera go up and down like mad, so maybe you're getting a lot of background noise with this shotgun mic. I might have to change the mic to the lapel one. I think I'll do that in a second, then we can test the we'll test the audio on that and we can tell me which one sounds better. Right guys, this is a slightly different setup, as you've probably noticed. So you're looking at me through a GoPro on a wide angle, and then we've got the bigger cameras over in the corner now on the passenger window. It was a bit fiddly to set up that, to be honest. Wasn't expecting it to be quite difficult because you need a nice flat surface for that big suction mount to grab onto, but it seems to be alright now. What I want to do now is try and get some audio of the Volvo's engine, which is why I've got the big shotgun mic on the front of that. And then hopefully when we roar off from here it'll sound just as good or something like what it does in real life. Because I found with it being an OEM factory car, I found that it can be a bit muffled when I'm trying to record the sound. I've not really managed to get a good sound clip of it yet. From what I feel it sounds like, if you know what I mean, IRL through my ears. Right, let's get off here and we'll give it some stick. Put it in sport mode just for you. Just get off this mud. Okay, you ready? Real throaty is how I'd describe it. It's like a big growl that comes from the engine. And like I said earlier, I didn't expect for it to growl so much. It fucking does growl, man. It sounds naughty. I really like the sound of this thing. Never had a 5-cylinder before, so you know that's a new thing as well. I've got Volvo 5-cylinder automatic, just ticking off loads of different boxes. That camera looks to be moving about a bit more on that mount. I'll have to inspect the footage later. Do you want to hear some more 5-cylinder noises? I don't even have to talk, I can just let the cars do the talking, can't I? I really need to practice this, guys, because I've got some quite interesting cars that have been submitted already, and some cars that, one of which I've always wanted to drive, and it's a bit of a dream car for me, and someone just submitted it straight away. And yeah, I was really excited when the email came through. So just for the minute, just don't send any submissions in, just for now. I'll probably delete the email in the previous description, because you know I've got a collection of cars already, as well as some other friends' cars that I was thinking of doing as well. And it's not going to be a regular thing, this, you know, maybe 1 a month, 2 a month. I don't know, we'll see what happens in the summer, see what the uptake's like, but it's not going to be like, you know, it's not going to be where the channel's going to be ultimately. It's just going to be like a side product. I've done this kind of thing for a while, but I've never actually had a solid format that I stick to and that people could maybe look towards, like the one takes. That's what I'm aspiring to be, something where Matt Farah got his one takes to, that kind of level. If we start where we are now and work his way up, then look at this Volvo squad. XC60 in front of us, V70 over there. Starting to respect Volvos a lot more since getting this car. I've always liked XC90s. I know it's an XC60, but you know the older XC90 with like the amber corner lights and stuff like that. I've been looking at them, but they're expensive, so I'm not going to get one. There's one there, just like that. XC90, nice. So I'm off to IKEA to get some drawers. What should we talk about in the Volvo? The Volvo's only done 121,000 miles, by the way, which, you know, for a 20-year-old Volvo is fucking low. There's plenty of these cars on 200, 300, 400, 500 miles, 500,000 miles, and yeah, 121k. She's a fresh pup, so she might last a while. I do like a lot of things about this car, and it's the handling is, as you'd expect, it's a bit boaty, and it's only got 205 tyres on all around. But what that means is you can drive it right up to the limit on the road, and you can have it. It's a bit like the Audi. I could drive the Audi on the limit, and it wasn't fast. You know, it wasn't like an exceptionally good handling car, but you just got to kind of learn to respect what it is and just enjoy driving it for what it is, if that makes sense. Like, I know I could put wider wheels, wider tyres on it, I could put coilovers on it, I could fuck about with it and try and get it handling something like, but as a daily driver and just something to slink about on the you know, the public roads, it's fine. Right guys, so I'm just driving through Leeds at the moment, as you can see. Oh, he's not happy. So I'm just driving through Leeds at the moment, and I figured I'd do some talking on why I actually bought the Volvo and why I'd actually buy a car like this, why I'd choose to daily drive a 20-year-old Volvo. I think 90s cars, especially late 90s ones like this, are just perfect on the line of having everything you'd want in a daily driver without too much. I think modern cars have got too much going on. Sometimes I get to drive new hire cars when with work. If I'm traveling with work, sometimes they'll give me like I've had a 318D before, a brand new 318D, and I've had a brand new Volkswagen Tiguan, I think it was. And you know, modern cars these days just do everything for you, don't they? They're all fucking autos. They've got lane assist, fucking cameras on the front to brake for you. They've got massive big A pillars full of airbags and B pillars full of airbags, and you just don't feel that connected to them, or I don't feel like I'm that connected to them. And yeah, I've never really, I don't know, I've just not got the appeal at all to look at anything newer than, I think my cut-off point's around 2005. So obviously the M cars, the newer M cars like the M240s and stuff like that, and the new Civic Type R, the FK8 is a fucking awesome car. But I mean, just like regular cars, regular day-to-day cars that you drive around, you know, I could have like a fucking, I don't know, what would I have? See, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what I'd buy if I was looking for a newer car, because I like these older cars. And ultimately for me, as you know, I'm from Yorkshire, you might have noticed that, I don't like spending a lot of money on a car that I'm going to drive every day, and a car that I'm going to leave at supermarkets, and a car that I'm going to leave at train stations. And you know, I don't want to have to worry about a £30,000-40,000 piece of metal where I'm going to be parking it and stuff. And yeah, this Volvo cost me £1,000, and you know, I own the car, and you know, obviously I've had to do a bit of work to it and stuff, but you know, what a lot of car for the money, right? That's what I was thinking, and that's what I always think about these E36s. And someone's had oh god, someone's had a bad time there. They're cheap and they're cheerful, and a lot of people in England, I don't know what it's like in wherever you're from, but in England, your car is kind of like a status symbol to a lot of people, and people are paying like 20, 30, 40% of their income to rent cars. It's crazy. Leasing to me is, I don't really understand it. Maybe I will one day if I get a bit older, maybe, but I just don't understand the whole status symbol behind a car. And you can probably tell that immediately by the fact that I'm driving a 20-year-old Volvo V70 silver, proper librarian spec. But I've never really been one of those people that cares what people think about possessions, if that makes sense. You know, I'm not going to wear a big fancy watch, and you know, I think this is getting a bit deep, but I think there's more to people than possessions and things. And like, if I see someone driving a nice car, I don't immediately think, oh, fucking hell, they're doing well for themselves, because you just don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And a lot of people will buy these, or should I say rent these cars for stupid amount of money each month. And what do you get out of it, really, apart from a massive financial loss? That's why I prefer that. You know, the cars that I've got the Integra, you know, the M3 and the MR2, they're all cars that drive really well, and they're all cars that have got a bit of heritage, and they're all cars that have got a bit of certain cool factor about them. And I think the Volvo fits in with that kind of ethos with all the other cars, because it's quirky, it's old, it's cool, in my opinion, and it was cheap. You know, I say it again, £1,000. You can't get a lot for £1,000 these days. My MacBook cost more than that. That was 5 years ago. Do you know? And it's a car that works, and most things work in it. You know, there's a few issues with the boot rattle, and you know, let's change the radiator. But for a car with 237 horsepower, let's say 240, and then if anyone wants to be a dickhead, they can fuck off. I need to come across there, mate. Sorry, I'm in the wrong lane. We'll see if this Audi lets me in. Oh, he did. Thank you, mate. So, you know, I just don't follow it. And if it's reliable to me, I know a lot of people have these modern cars because they think they're going to be more reliable, but are they? these Volvos, these 90s Volvos, have got a reputation for being solid, reliable cars. And hopefully that'll be true to this one. Where are you going, mate? Jesus Christ. I hate these roads, you know. These Leeds inner city roads. I used to go to college just over there. So, you know, I've used to drive on these roads quite a lot. And I don't like them. I don't like busy, I don't like cities, I don't like people. No, sorry, that's the wrong word. I don't like people. No, I'm just kidding. You see what I mean? There's a car there, the car, fucking hell, what's going on? A fucking T5 out of there, get out of my situation. I'm not really a city guy. I'm a small town guy, and maybe that's why I don't understand all the possessions and stuff like that, 'cause you don't need it, do you? Why do you need to spend £300 or £400 a month, £500 a month, £700-800 a month on a car? Anyway, so why did I buy the Volvo? Have I answered the question yet? Mostly because it was cheap and I'm tight. There you go. That's like the number one reason. There, you've had it. Right, I'm going to pick this up again shortly. I'll think of something else to talk about. We've got some tunnels to go through actually, so maybe we can get some fucking tunnel vision. If I put this window down slightly. Oh, it's going to ruin the sound, isn't it? If I put the back windows down slightly. Right, I'll test the tunnel out. It's coming up. We'll engage sport mode. Are you ready? I want to tell you about a really cool thing about the Volvo, but you're going to have to listen because I can't actually show you because it's a bit weird. So it's got cruise control, this car, which I wasn't expecting it to have. And the strangest thing about that, and it's something that I can't show you because it's only minute, if you're resting your foot on the accelerator pedal and you turn the cruise control on, you can actually feel the cable pulling pulling on the pedal as you accelerate, and obviously letting off when it needs to let off. It's absolutely crazy. And I think I've just missed a turn off for IKEA. I fucking have as well. Right, looks like we're going on the M62 for a little bit. Bollocks. So your cruise control's real good, but sometimes you just cruise control a bit too far into the distance and then you lose your turning. So now we're going to have to go on the M62 for a little bit and switch back round. Oh, IKEA is literally on the left. Can you see it? Fuck's sake. I've just driven past IKEA because I was talking shit on the camera and it looks busy as. Tell you what, I'll join you after my traumatic experience at IKEA, which will no doubt be traumatic because, you know, oh, Mazda 6 MPS. See that? Right, I'm going to get on the M62 for a bit, come back up, go to IKEA, and then I'm going to try a different camera angle when I come back and do some more talking about stuff. Sound good? Alright. Right guys, so I just got out of IKEA. Never again on a Saturday will I enter that shop. Just getting parked when I first got here took absolutely fucking ages, man. I hate doing stuff like this, but you know, it's got to be done on it. And why not make a video while you're going to IKEA? Because that's normal. So, I've just filled up the Volvo's boot full of drawers and various other shite, nothing interesting. And now it's time to start the journey home. So, I've got my GoPro here, just over my right shoulder, which I'm not sure what that's going to look like. Obviously, these GoPros don't have viewfinders like my camera does, so I can't really get a fair idea on where the lens is pointing, but you know, I just have to do my best. Come on, dozy girl. So we've got a new camera angle. You kind of side onto me now from there. That's still coming off the windscreen, but obviously facing direct this way. And then you've got the camera angle here, which is obviously over the top of my head. Why does that say exit that way, but no one's going that way? I'm gonna go this way. Oh no, we'll go this way. We'll just follow everyone else. They probably know what they're doing. So I've just done what the Volvo, you know, does best in a sense, which is to obviously carry shit and go to IKEA. You go back to its homeland. Right, I'm going to get out of this traffic mess and then I'll pick this up again. Oh, she stalled it. Go on, lass, you can do it. Oh, she's thinking about it. Easy, easy. That's why everyone needs automatics. Don't stall it then. You might notice the ABS traction light on the Volvo's dashboard. That's my fault. So it had an intermittent ABS fault where the light had come on every now and again and the brake pedal would feel a bit weird. So what I did to try and resolve that was I took all the ABS sensors off and cleaned them up, and it all seemed like it was a done deal. Oh, I need to go straight on here. I was going to go back home then. So yeah, I had an ABS sensor issue and I thought I could get away with just cleaning the sensors. So I took all the sensors off and cleaned them up, and then when I was putting the front right one back on, I fucking snapped the screw, man. I snapped the bolt that holds the ABS sensor in. So the front right on this car now has not got an ABS sensor, and that's why the light's continually on now. So to fix that, all I need to do is get the hub off, get it in one of my visors, drill it out, put a helicoil in, it'll be fine. But it's just, haven't really got round to that yet. And you know, ABS and traction control, it's just, it is what it is, isn't it? Another disconnect from the driver. It's good to have in emergency situations. I'd prefer to have ABS, but yeah, I've done without ABS on my Integra for years, and yeah, the E36 didn't have working ABS either. So this 500 really doesn't know where she's going. I might just nip out of the Vectra there. Traffic's not the one. Is that M621? Right, we're going over here. M621, not the Honda one, the actual motorway. There's a motorway in Leeds called the M621, if you didn't know. It's very nice, it's very scenic. Goes past Elland Road, which is where a fucking football team, I don't know anything about football, or Leeds for that matter. But I can burn away from this motorway thing. Whoa. Oh, IKEA's going everywhere. Tell you one area that we should definitely talk about in this car is the fuel economy, because it's not great, as you'd expect from an automatic, big old turbocharged bus. I do town driving mostly, you know, driving to work and nipping around. I don't do big miles anymore like what I used to. When I bought the Audi, I was doing like 25,000 miles a year, so you know, I needed the diesel and I needed the fuel economy. But now my mileage has gone down to, I'm lucky if I do 10k in a year these days, since moving up to Harrogate. So you know, I can kind of take a step back on the fuel economy. I mean, at the minute it thinks, since I picked the car up, the trip computer thinks that we've averaged 21.4 miles per gallon, which is not too bad considering the driving I've done. But I actually worked out the previous tank, so I measured the distance and the fuel that I'd used on the last tank that this car did, and I did 220 miles to 61.4 litres, I think it was, which is roughly, is it 16 mpg, that one? So, you know, high teens at best. On a run, it'll do 30 miles per gallon apparently, but you've got to remember, fuel economy is just one cost of ownership of a car. Like I said, I've said it enough times in this video, this car only cost £1,000, and you know, and I own the car, and you know, spending a bit more on fuel for that soundtrack. You know, I was looking at E39, which are going to have like a V8 or a straight 6 engine. They wouldn't have been any better on fuel. So the fuel economy is typical late 90s, where it is what it is. You know, it's not amazing, it's not terrible, it could be better, but it's only one cost of ownership, so don't get too hung up on it, is what I say. And it sounds like this, which I know you can't hear, but you just have to trust me that it sounds fucking sick. A question that I get asked a lot is, do I wish it was a manual, or am I going to manual transmission swap it? And the answer is no. Am I fucking going to manual transmission swap it? I don't know what's expected of YouTubers these days, but that's not me. I'm not going to start trying to manual swap a car that I've got no idea how it really goes together. And doing that radiator the other day, I don't want to do a lot on this car. I'm just going to do whatever I need to This car's a daily driver. I've got enough projects on the go, and you know, as it is out of the box, this T5, it's I'm going to use a phrase that I use all the time, but it's a good car. It does everything fine. You know, it could handle better, it could be faster, it could sound louder, but it doesn't need to. It's a daily driver, and it does everything that it does it well. It's like a jack of all trades, perhaps a master of none. You know, it could be a lot better in some areas, but it doesn't need to be. It's fine. Got all this stuff on, and I wouldn't really want a manual one, to be honest. Now I've got the automatic. Maybe I'll have to drive one to compare, but the automatic, for just wafting about, and then if you do want to accelerate, you just fast. It really does pick up, and it just fucks off way faster than the Audi. You know, I'm not used to having this kind of speed and power on a daily driver. It's nice, and it's effortless as well with the auto box. You just leave it in drive and plant your foot. I mean, I know that's what automatics are all about, but because I've not had one before, you know, it's new to me, and yeah, quite like it. Now, when I'm driving enthusiastically, 3 pedals is a must every time. You know, I wouldn't want an automatic sports car. It doesn't really flow. You know, I could have got an SMG M3, but I made sure I got a manual. It just doesn't really flow my boat. But for this dicking about, just wafting about, let's say, not dicking about, it's good. And the automatic just suits the car really well. It's only a 4-speed as well. You know, it's only got 4 gears, 4 forward gears. And when I saw that, I thought, Jesus. You know, 4-speed, what the fuck is this gonna be like? But honestly, it's fine. It doesn't bother me that it's an automatic. If anything, it just adds to the car's character. And it is nice just crawling about, you know, slushing about to work. It was a bit of a twat in the snow, I will admit. You know, not having the clutch control in the snow was a bit meh, but the winter mode on the gearbox helped significantly. It's a good job it's got that mode. I mean, obviously being a Volvo, you'd expect it to have some kind of winter driving mode, and it has, and it works. So that's sound. So yeah, no plans for the Volvo. People ask me a lot what my plans are with the Volvo, and it's just not, you know, I just don't think about the Volvo like that. The Volvo, to me, I want to get it in better mechanical condition, like I've spoken about with this ABS fault. Get that sorted out, get the boot squeak sorted out, and then just use it. But they're all jobs that, you know, I'm not in an immediate rush to do. So in these videos, I don't think I'll have a lot of time in the car, maybe half an hour at a time, an hour, maybe tops. And I'm not going to be going into like the ins and outs of the car's history or, you know, what's put together. I don't want to be doing too much research about each and every car and then just regurgitating Wikipedia back to you, because, you know, you can learn that stuff for yourself if you want to know all like incremental model differences and stuff like that. If I know it, I'll tell you. Like if we're reviewing an M3 or something like that, or a Honda, something that I've got like a personal interest in, then, you know, I'll geek out and I'll tell you all you need to know. But it's mostly going to be about just me driving a car and then just feeding back on it, whatever I feel, whatever I notice. You know, whether I like the brakes, whether I like the steering, whether I like this, whether I like that. I don't know, I'll just drive it and see, and then feedback, talk some bollocks on camera, and then upload it, and then we'll see how we get to. Right, so I'm just coming back to Harrogate now, so I'm going to end the video. Don't know how long it's been, but I know I've recorded a lot today, so hopefully I'll chop it down. I think like 10 to 15 minutes is what I want to aim for these videos. I don't want them to be too long. I know I've recorded about an hour today, so I've got no idea how long this is going to be, but I wanted to test all the different camera angles and stuff. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this where I'll just be driving random cars and just talking about them, then make sure you're subscribed. And like I say, there should be some coming up very soon. So see you then. Be back up the autobahn soon as well. Got some mammoth tasks to do once it warms up. I know you're going to think I'm a bitch for saying it's cold, but it's cold, man. The PUBG's calling my name, so it's time to go and get some chicken dinners. See you later.